You looking for the best deals on quality used trucks and cars?
Great news. Chillicothe Truck has your local.
Choose from a wide selection of makes and models. All vehicles undergo a detailed multi-point inspection and extensive reconditioning before hitting the lot. Our friendly team offers a no-pressure sales experience, ensuring you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Plus, you can customize your ride with our extensive range of truck accessories, from bed covers to lift kits. Stop by 173 Rennick Avenue in Chillicothe or call us today at 740-773-8782 to get started right now.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
At North Fork Animal Clinic, we're more than your pet's health care. We're your neighbors. We combine top-quality veterinary care with the availability you can count on, keeping tails wagging and pets thriving. And as proud supporters of youth sports in Southern Ohio, we're committed to helping our whole community grow strong. North Fork Animal Clinic, caring for pets, supporting our community.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
Rathkamp Financial is a comprehensive financial services firm committed to helping our clients improve their long-term financial success. Our customized programs seek to grow, protect, and conserve our clients' wealth by delivering personalized service and expertise. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member, FINRA SIPC. Please call us at 740-775-1040 to schedule a consultation.
At Chillicothe Comfort Heating and Air, your comfort is our priority year-round.
Whether it's blazing hot or freezing cold, we've got your back with fast, reliable service you can trust.
Locally owned, honest, and done right the first time.
We have financing options available for every budget, as well as 60 months, 0% interest.
Call us today and feel the difference that comfort makes.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie & Son Trucking each week at SOSAOhio.com.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place. And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
Experience the hometown Chevrolet difference. Check out our huge selection of Silverado trucks, Equinox SUVs, and the latest Chevy models. Priced to move and ready to hit the road today. Plus, with the Hometown Advantage, you get free oil changes for life and a 10-year, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty at no extra cost. That's real value and real peace of mind. Your Hometown Chevrolet is proud to be your trusted local dealer of new and pre-owned inventory, delivering unbeatable deals and top-notch service. Visit us today at 501 West Emmett Avenue in Waverly or start shopping online at yourhometownchevy.com.
For 175 years, the Gluckman name has stood for trust. Today, that promise continues. Every time your family turns the key. Generations have trusted us for one reason. We never stopped caring. From preschool drop-offs to road trips, you leave our service center knowing your family is in the safest hands possible. 175 years of social proof that this isn't just service. It's a promise from our family to yours.
Have you experienced simply brilliant fiber internet? Yeah, that's Glow Fiber. Lightning-fast internet that keeps up with your busy life. A reliable fiber-to-the-home network whether you're working, learning, playing, or streaming. And best of all, Glow Fiber has real local support from real people who are happy to talk to you. And switch now for your first month free. Faster, more reliable fiber internet with real local support. Glow Fiber. Simply brilliant.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery, tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
I'm Tyler.
And I'm James.
We want to thank you for continuing to make the Root Sports and Fitness Center your headquarters for youth sports in Southern Ohio.
A Southern Ohio Super Tuesday here in Waverly. It's the Eastern Brown Warriors and the Waverly Tigers in non-league action here on this February Tuesday night right before the tournament draw. Carson Francis and Shane Combs with you from the Waverly Downtown Gym here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health. Shane, both these teams coming off of longer layoffs here as of late with all the snow. Both teams have been able to get a game in recently, meeting up here looking for a signature win before Sunday's tournament draw. What can we look for coming into tonight?
Well, great matchup, and again, as always, it's great to be with you. It really is a great matchup. It's a situation, as you said, with all the weather. Yeah, a lot of teams have been a week, maybe 10 days without playing. These guys were lucky enough to get back at it here recently with Eastern over the weekend, Waverly last night, and I have seen that. Over the last 3 or 4 streams we've had, you can tell the teams that had to take quite a bit of time away from the gym. It shows up with some rust there on the offensive end. I think tonight you won't quite see that as much, teams getting back into it a little bit. And this really is important to both teams with the draw right around the corner. Talk about quality opponent, strength of schedule, all of those different things going to play a part here this evening.
Waverly currently in the RPI rankings used to determine the tournament seedings. They're the number 5 seed in the Southeast District in Division 4, a pretty loaded Division 4 near the top with Circleville, Unioto, Washington Courthouse, and Fairfield Union all ahead of them. Meanwhile, Eastern Brown, we said Division 4 was loaded. Division 5 is a gauntlet, and that doesn't even do it justice. They are the 4 seed in that stacked Division 5 Southeast District with Chesapeake, Ironton, and Wheelersburg ahead of them. Needless to say, a win here would go a long way, you would think, for Sunday's draw.
No question, and as you read off those teams, that kind of lets you know what kind of postseason we're in for. You know, whoever represents our Southeast District into the Sweet 16, maybe even Elite 8 in all the division, going to have every opportunity to push for a Final Four run. So I'm excited for it. This type of thing starts tonight. This will be a tournament atmosphere here in a beautiful facility. Really, really good program in Eastern coming in here to Waverly to take on a really talented Tigers team. Should be a really good one.
Let's first take a look at the visiting Eastern Brown Warriors, coming in with a record of 16-2, champions of the Southern Hills Athletic Conference Division 1. They clinched that in their most recent league game, 10-1 in the league their last time out Saturday, hosting a really talented Cincinnati Country Day team that punched them in the mouth in the beginning. Started on a 6-0 run. The Warriors had some trouble taking care of the basketball early on. Eastern Brown trailed by 7 going into the halftime break. But they won the second half by 20 and cruised, if you want to put it that way, to a 13-point win. Tale of two halves for Eastern Saturday night.
Yeah, really. You know, Eastern's a team that jumped on my radar really early this year, and they've never left. It's just really a complete basketball team. I thought you had some great notes on that game, Carson, as I looked at our pregame notes. And when you look, there's a lot of things that quality teams that are looking to make a tournament run do, and it's what the Warriors did there in the second half. When you started talking about the ability to execute at the free throw line, a lot of different guys in double figures, getting points from the bench, those are all things that jump out at me there in that win over the weekend.
Looking at the home team now, Waverly coming in at 10-8, 3-4 in the SOC 3, tied for 4th with South Webster. And their most recent game was last night, a makeup game against the Minford Falcons, and a game where they also kind of struggled for a little bit, coming off that snow rust that a lot of teams in the area had. Trailed at halftime. It was tight down to the final few minutes before Waverly kind of pulled away a little bit at the end, earned a 3-point victory over a Minford team that some might say is a lot better than what their record shows, but certainly a hard-fought road win for the Tigers last night.
Well, when I look at the SOC 3 standings, you know, Minford at 1-6, so that right there tells you that they're very competitive in several games. But, you know, Wheelersburg separating themselves at 6-1, but Valley, West, South Webster, and Waverly really kind of beating up on each other, and it's kind of helped Wheelersburg there at the top of the standings. But because of that, Waverly's really battle-tested. So you come into a game like this tonight against a good Eastern team playing on your home court. You and I were here recently against an outstanding Jackson team. Waverly went toe-to-toe there, so gives me no reason but to expect anything but a great game here tonight.
For Eastern Brown, number 10, Cage Alexander, has got to be circled on the scouting report, as he is for a lot of teams. 8-1 when Waverly's 8-1 when Cage Alexander scores 20 or more. The most recent case coming last night when Alexander put up a nice 23 in that win over the Falcons. How does Eastern contain number 10 in black and orange?
Yeah, he's really, really good. Lefty, sophomore, point guard. If you haven't had a chance to see him play, he can create his own shot, shoots the three, really good in the mid-range, high percentage if he gets to the free throw line. He's a tough guard. But what you'll see with Eastern is a lot of physicality. They'll guard him off the dribble with a lot of different types of guys. They'll be in the dribble gap. They'll try to limit his paint touches. They'll try to turn him into a volume shooter, make him hit tough twos. I think that's where it's going to be really big for Waverly to get a little scoring punch from throughout the lineup. Each time I turn the film on with the Tigers, when Sawyer Myers and Gunnar Myers play well on the offensive end, that's when they seem to find their best rhythm, and to me, they become the most difficult to guard.
And then for Eastern Brown, Braxton Vance, the senior, only averaging around 9 a night, is coming off one of his better performances of the season. 19 points and 6 rebounds in that win over Cincinnati Country Day. The senior's a multi-sport athlete, competes in everything he does, and certainly been a key reason why the Warriors are 16-2 at this point.
No question about it. And this Eastern lineup has a lot of returning guys, but man, this time of year, it's something, Carson, about being a senior. You know, you get down to the stretch here and you start to realize, hey, this is my final run at this. You know Braxton Vance wants to lead his group and have them ready for the postseason playing their best basketball.
Well, tip-off coming up shortly here from the Waverly Downtown Gym. We'll step aside for the playing of our national anthem by the Waverly Pet Band. Come back. We'll have player introductions and the start of this non-league battle between Eastern Brown and Waverly. You're watching Ohio High School boys basketball here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
At Chillicothe Comfort Heating and Air, your comfort is our priority year-round.
Whether it's blazing hot or freezing cold, we've got your back with fast, reliable service you can trust.
Locally owned, honest, and done right the first time.
We have financing options available for every budget, as well as 60 months, 0% interest.
Call us today and feel the difference that comfort makes.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
I'm Tyler.
And I'm James.
We want to thank you for continuing to make the Root Sports and Fitness Center your headquarters for youth sports in Southern Ohio.
The Waverly High School Pep Band giving us our national anthem before tonight's game. The Tigers hosting the Eastern Brown Warriors here at the downtown gym in a key non-league battle. The tournament draw looming on Sunday as teams all around the state of Ohio in divisions 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 will have their paths to Dayton carved out Sunday afternoon, according to the Max Preps RPI rankings. Always a fun time here in the state of Ohio.
Oh, no question about it. You know, you come up on the tournament time and being in Waverly Downtown Gymnasium, obviously for people throughout the Southeast District, kind of gives you that tournament feel. And when you get this type of matchup, it just all seems to fit together. Really a fitting game to have as we get closer to Selection Sunday for high school boys here in the state of Ohio.
There you see the starting 5 for head coach Rob Buechler's Eastern Brown Warriors. Kane Dotson, Chase Pinkerton, Carter Cluxton, Braxton Vance, and Matthew Dick rounding out the first 5 for the Warriors. And now it's lights out in the downtown gym. The student section, the pep band, the Waverly Tiger faithful ready to rumble here for their Tigers.
A little unique setting here where they come out of the corner of the locker room there. I like that.
Kai Cassie, Cage Alexander, Landon Russell, Sawyer Myers, and Gunnar Myers to round out the starting 5 for head coach Taryn Jarrett and the Waverly Tigers. Always great getting to come down here to the downtown gym, get to see some good basketball. We're expecting nothing less tonight. 2 great programs getting to do battle here in non-league action.
Got the Eastern fans to their feet behind us. Usually throughout the shack, they'll remain on their feet until their team scores for the first time in the game.
Dick and Russell in the center circle. The Waverly Tigers have the night's opening possession. We're underway from the downtown gym. Alexander across half court. Alexander kicks it out. Cassie, now a dish to Sawyer Myers. These two met last season, a win for Eastern Brown on their home floor. Alexander spins, step through, puts it up, can't get it to fall. Pinkerton grabs the rebound.
Yeah, good patience, Waverly. Good defense, Eastern, now on the opening possession.
Eastern trying to get into their half-court offense. Pinkerton picked up his dribble before firing to Braxton Vance. Vance working on Myers, picks it up at the elbow. Nice dish, Dotson underneath, reverse layups, no good. Dick the offensive rebound. Dick goes back up, can't finish there. Another effort from Matthew Dick. Slices it off the backboard, and it's hauled in by Landon Russell.
Yeah, several opportunities at the rim, couldn't get one to fall.
Alexander, top of the key, driving. Alexander gets fouled.
Yeah, he gets downhill to that strong hand, which is his left hand. The dribble gap spaced out there a little bit, and he was able to get pretty deep and draw the contact.
Alexander, a pretty efficient free throw shooter, shooting around 60% from the stripe on the year. Had a nice game from the stripe in the Jackson game that you and I had as he knocks down his first.
Yeah, he really did. We talked about it that night. I know the year total of 61 is probably not where you want a great shooter like him, but I feel like that's improving. I think a lot of that is he's still young, and as you start to play through the contact, that number that'll continue to grow throughout his career.
The 6-foot sophomore goes 2 for 2 at the line. Here's Pinkerton on the other end with the easy layup.
Yeah, too easy there. That's a good response.
Warriors wasted no time getting down the floor in transition, and now the visiting Eastern faithful finally can have a seat. Here's Kazee off the drive. Kazee to the basket, gets the bounce off the glass.
Yeah, you get Alexander to the left, Kazee to the right, and you just can't let them turn the corner. If they're able to play downhill, it's going to be a long night for you.
There's Carter Cluxton now near side wing, over to Dotson, top of the key. Oh, Pinkerton far side, Dick setting the screen. Pinkerton jump stops. Got it stripped away, puts it up. Russell with the rejection. Cluxton the rebound and the shot off the mark. Out of bounds off of Eastern Brown. And they're going to say it stays with the Warriors.
Yeah, going to get an OB underneath opportunity.
Pinkerton to set it up, trying to get something in. Throws it into Dick in the low post. Dick working on Myers. Dick reverse. Can't get it to fall, and it's Russell hauling it in for Waverly.
Pretty good job by Myers matching the physicality early on there to protect the rim.
Alexander across half court over to Sawyer Myers. Try to go back to Alexander underneath, and it's out of bounds. A turnover for Waverly.
Yeah, a little bit unforced. Felt like he was open and then tried to hit him late. I don't know if Alexander was still expecting the basketball.
Kane Dotson brings it up the floor. He dished out 5 assists in the win over Cincinnati Country Day. Season high 13 in a win over Peebles. Jumper from Cluxton's denied. Landon Russell, another block on the night. Alexander on the other end to the basket and the finish. Alexander goes coast to coast. He's got 4 early.
Yeah, it just can't happen. That's just way too deep. Got the best offensive player on the court, basically going coast to coast. No one's stopping the basketball.
Dick passes it inside. Pinkerton rejected by Alexander. Second effort, can't get it to fall either. Cluxton the offensive rebound. Pinkerton high post again. Cluxton the jumper knocks it down. Carter Cluxton finds the bottom of the net for Eastern.
Yeah, nice job staying with it. Early on, Carson, I feel like the Waverly length and athleticism maybe catching Eastern off guard a little bit, but good job staying with it on that possession.
So Alexander fires a long 3, airmails it. Rebound taken by Cluxton, Eastern pushing it. Pinkerton at the top of the key. Pinkerton jump stops at the elbow. Finds Dotson. Handoff, Cluxton for 3 off the mark. It's Gunnar Myers coming down with the rebound. A foul against Eastern Brown. It'll go on Braxton Vance, his first, as Sam Raymer will check in for the Warriors in place of Carter Cluxton. Raymer, a junior, had 11 in that win over Country Day, knocked down 3 triples.
Yeah, so deep. He can just keep bringing people at you. Let's see if that plays a role in the game tonight.
Kazee dishes it to Landon Russell. Russell to the basket, tied up and fouled by Dotson.
Yeah, Russell's a really dynamic athlete. If you haven't seen Waverly this year, 6'3" junior, good versatility, really explosive. That time you see basically within the one dribbles in the three-point line, getting it all the way to the rim.
Landon Russell averaging around 7 a night, season high of 17. He knocks down his first. As a sub for the Warriors, Jaden Florence will check in for Eastern.
Yeah, just another piece that adds to the depth for Coach Buechler. Remember, he wasn't with them the entire year, and since he's returned, it's been another weapon.
Only played in 10 games this season, getting some action early in place of Kane Dotson. Florence, far side, comes off the screen. Florence, the drive, rejected again. Russell and Sawyer Myers there to meet him.
Again, the Waverly size and athleticism, protecting the rim pretty well.
Alexander hands it off to Russell. Now some three-man action outside. Cassie, far side wing, finds Alexander off the cut. Alexander got it poked away, taken away by Pinkerton. Loose ball won by the Tigers. Myers pump fakes. Myers drives, got stripped, but he's fouled. And Gunnar Myers will head to the charity stripe.
Yeah, what a great move. A couple really good shot fakes, really a patient move, a good physical move, and going to get to the free throw line. Third Tiger all ready to go to the charity stripe. So far, the team's shooting at 4 for 4.
Myers' first attempt from the stripe, he knocks it down. Carter Cluxton will come back into the game for the Warriors in place of Matthew Dick. It's already 4 team fouls against Eastern Brown.
Yeah, and a lot of that's just the aggressive downhill nature that Waverly's been playing with on the offensive end, not settling. I can only remember maybe the one perimeter shot. Everything else has pretty much been at the rim.
Myers splits the difference at the line. Offensive rebound, Russell the putback. Landon Russell, the paint presence for the Tigers.
Yeah, good job, Sawyer Myers keeping that alive, and then Russell was there to clean it up.
11-4 Waverly, out to a commanding start, and Russell with some energy again, gets a deflection. Eastern resets, Raymer over to Pinkerton. Pinkerton at the elbow, Pinkerton, the runner, knocks it down and one. Chase Pinkerton attacks and finds the bottom of the net.
Yeah, what a big-time move. Just a little hesitation, enough to keep the defense guessing. Talked about the athleticism and some of the shot blocking of Waverly. That little floater, that little runner over the top there, draws the contact and going to get a chance to old-fashioned through.
Sub for the Waverly Tigers, Davion McBride getting his first action as Gunnar Myers heads to the bench. Pinkerton completing the and one with the foul shot.
Already has 5 in the first quarter here.
Some soft pressure being applied by the Warriors. McBride in the half court for Waverly. McBride trapped, tried to fire to Alexander, almost threw it away. Cassie able to track it down. Alexander one-on-one with Florence. There's McBride near side wing over to Russell. Good perimeter action here from the Tigers. Alexander drive the dish to Russell, off the glass for the finish. Good find from Alexander, and Russell able to cash in.
Yeah, again, it's the deep dribble drive that draws the defense, gets the easy 2.
Vance got it poked away in the paint, taken away by Waverly. Alexander in the paint, he travels.
Yeah, just lost his footing, tried to get rid of the basketball, couldn't do it, but, you know, early on, Carson, the Waverly defense doing a really good job of winning the paint. Other than the Pinkerton drive, most of the stuff has been on the pull-up jumper or on the offensive glass.
Coach Buechler uses his first timeout for Eastern Brown. His team trailing 13-7 to Waverly. What have you liked so far from the Tigers? Pretty nice start. You have to like it if you're Waverly.
I just like their activity on the defensive end. Russell's energy's been great. Sawyer Myers, Gunnar Myers, I think their physicality started to show up. For the most part, they've been able to protect the paint. They probably got to clean up the defensive glass just a little bit more. Eastern can be relentless to the offensive glass. But yeah, early on, if you're a Waverly fan, you have to like their energy. And then on the offensive end, you got to like that they've been, for the most part, pretty aggressive downhill to the rim. Already have been able to shoot, 6 free throws.
2:17 remains here in the first quarter. Eastern possession, as Pinkerton will walk it up the floor for the Warriors. Pinkerton picks up his dribble, finds Cluxton outside. Cluxton one-on-one with Russell. Now back to Pinkerton. Warriors trying to find something inside. Florence launches the three, can't connect. McBride tips it to himself for the rebound. McBride lost the handle, and it'll stay with Waverly.
Yeah, Florence trying to use the jab step there, and again, Waverly out in transition. Lucky to keep possession there after having the ball knocked loose.
Cassie across half court for Waverly. McBride over to Myers. Little zone look here for Eastern, a 1-3-1.
Yeah, Raymer's length up top kind of makes it tough for the reversal.
McBride, corner three, knocks it down. Davion McBride letting it fly.
5 different Tigers already in the scoring column. We talked about that in the pregame. That's when they're at their best, when they get a little bit of ability to spread the wealth.
Dick outside the perimeter, now Cluxton. Cluxton picks it up at the foul line. Raymer for three, it's blocked by McBride. And a foul on the rebound against Eastern.
One more time, length and athleticism. That time it's McBride on the closeout, getting a piece of the shot. Tough for Eastern to get clean looks here in the early going.
It's the energy on display by this Waverly defense, translating on the offensive end as well. They'll send Kai Cassie to the foul line, where he's 71% on the season.
And as I said, get 5 different Waverly players into the scoring column here in the first quarter. Got to love that, and the free throw shooting continues to be pretty solid all the way through.
Cassie knocks down his first 10-point lead for the Tigers.
This will be their 8th free throw already, and they've only missed 1 of them.
Second shot, Cassie off the back iron. Pinkerton the rebound, full court pass. Florence hauls it in. Florence in the post, puts it up off the glass and in for Jaden Florence.
Yeah, great feet from Florence. Had the height advantage there, stayed patient and able to step through and lay it in.
Cassie across the timeline for Waverly. Russell near the logo at midcourt. Russell driving. Russell puts it up. Dick there with the rejection. Cluxton hauls in the rebound. Eastern trying to push it. Pinkerton up the floor. Dick in the paint. Dick goes up and puts it in. Matthew Dick doing some work inside, cuts the deficit down to 6.
Yeah, defense with the block shot on the one end, lays it in on the other.
There's another steal by Eastern. This time it's Florence. Raymer driving, kicks it out. Dick at the elbow. Dick down the lane. He draws the foul.
So Carson, 2 straight possessions where the defense leads to the offense. The shot block, layup on the other end. That time it was a ability to jump the passing lane right around half court, and then the big fella with the trail position down the middle going to get to go to the free throw line.
First shot from Dick off the mark. Gunnar Myers will check back into the game for Waverly. Landon Russell will get a breather.
Yeah, only 48% from the free throw line. Really, really good post player. Just one of the weaknesses in his game there that he'll need to improve coming into the tournament and into his senior year, because his physicality is going to get him there a lot.
0 for 2 at the line goes Dick. Sawyer Myers, the rebound, stripped by Raymer. Eastern gets it back. Florence for 3 off the mark. Alexander the rebound. One final shot for Waverly. Alexander puts it up. He draws the foul.
Yeah, such a great feel for the game. So many kids would have shot that ball a second early. Not only did he know he had the extra dribble, he even knew that he had time to gather himself and get up through the contact, put the pressure on the official, and I thought that was a pretty fair call. Certainly contact there.
With no time on the clock, Cage Alexander will have 3 foul shots awaiting. And he knocks down the first. They'll tag Jaden Florence with the foul, his second. Second shot, Alexander knocks it down. You know, Shane, that's a big momentum swing, too, for Waverly. You had Eastern cutting into that deficit that they had just built, and now Cage Alexander able to put some points on the board with no time running.
Yeah, great point. Waverly had the momentum early. Eastern had started to answer, and you're exactly right. Those 3 free throws opens the lead back to 9.
A 9-point lead for Waverly after the foul shots by Alexander. End of 1 here at the downtown gym. You're watching Ohio High School basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Are you looking for the best deals on quality used trucks and cars?
Great news. Chillicothe Truck has what you're looking for.
Choose from a wide selection of makes and models. All vehicles undergo a detailed multi-point inspection and extensive reconditioning before hitting the lot. Our friendly team offers a no-pressure sales experience, ensuring you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Plus, you can customize your ride with our extensive range of truck accessories, from bed covers to lift kits. Stop by 173 Rennick Avenue in Chillicothe or call us today at 740-773-8782 to get started right now.
Have you experienced simply brilliant fiber internet? Yeah, that's Glow Fiber. Lightning fast internet that keeps up with your busy life. A reliable fiber-to-the-home network whether you're working, learning, playing, or streaming. And best of all, Glow Fiber has real local support from real people who are happy to talk to you. And switch now for your first month free. Faster, more reliable fiber internet with real local support. Glow Fiber, simply brilliant.
1 quarter down here at the Waverly downtown gym. The Tigers in front of Eastern Brown, 20-11. Hot start for the Tigers. Eastern with possession to start the second quarter.
Yeah, 11 free throw attempts for Waverly. Made 9 of them there in the opening quarter. That's the difference in the game so far.
Carter Cluxton stands at the far side wing for Eastern. And there's a steal taken away. Gunnar Myers. Myers to the basket, draws the foul. Vance committed the foul as Myers went up for the transition lay-in.
Yeah, so versatile. Gunnar Myers at 6'4". Notice how he got out in the passing lane, used the correct ball side hand. For younger kids watching, that was textbook, knocked it out in the open court. And you ask why did one team shoot 11 free throws and why did the other shoot 3? And it's hard to argue that it's not because Waverly's been playing downhill to the rim just a little bit more than Eastern to this point.
First shot from Myers is good. Substitution for the Warriors, Jace Jennings will check into the game, replacing Vance after he picks up his second foul. Jennings only getting about 4 to 5 minutes a game. Some big ones in front of the sophomore here.
Yeah, that's a big foul there. Let's see how Coach plans to handle that over the next 7:44 in the first half.
Gunnar Myers goes 2 for 2 at the line, 11-point lead for Waverly. Pinkerton across the timeline. Good defense by Alexander, stopping ball. Jennings in the corner off the screen. Jennings kicks it out. Cluxton, corner 3, airmails it. And McBride right there for the rebound. Alexander on the other end, tried to dish it to Myers. He throws it away.
Yeah, pretty good hustle in transition. Getting about 3 black jerseys back in front of the ball to try to have some resistance, and Alexander just lost it.
Warriors looking to chip away at this deficit. Pinkerton one-on-one with Sawyer Myers. Pinkerton drives by him, can't finish the layup. Pinkerton had a wide open look at the rim, just couldn't convert.
Yeah, missed opportunity, and again with some of the length and shot blocking, sometimes it's not even there and you think it might be.
Alexander baseline drive, skips it out. McBride for 3, that's no good. Jennings tips the rebound to himself. Pinkerton taking it up the floor for the Warriors.
Yeah, good inside position from Jennings.
Pinkerton spins, picks up his dribble inside. Pinkerton puts it up, can't get it to fall. Sawyer Myers the rebound.
Yeah, hard to dislike some of the looks you're getting if you're Eastern, just unable to convert at the rim.
Alexander thought about the three. Myers dishes it to him off the cut, and his shot's rejected. Good contest from Sam Raymer, forcing the miss. Raymer driving, Raymer to the basket, blocked by Cassie. And out of bounds, Waverly basketball.
You know, Carson, on the other end, I think Alexander's really clever with his offhand sometimes, but there's times I watch him on film and now watching him in person for about the third or fourth time this year. Sometimes he overuses it. I'd like to see him in that mid-range. He's so skilled. Just go and stay in his strong hand and get that ball up off the rim with that good shooter's touch.
Garrett Rosenberger into the game for Waverly, getting his first minutes of varsity action tonight as he finds Alexander in the paint and one.
What a big-time pass, big-time cut, and there is a great finish with the offhand is needed to absorb the contact. Alexander now with 9. He'll get a free throw to try to get the double figures.
King Dotson back on the floor for Eastern. At his textbook, moving without the basketball from Cage Alexander, finding an open spot in the paint for his teammate to hit him for a layup. Braxton Vance back onto the floor for Eastern as well.
Yeah, Coach Jarrett's got to love the way his Tigers are sharing the basketball here in the early going. It's been equal opportunity for everybody in the white jersey.
Alexander gets the roll on the foul shot. 12-point advantage now for Waverly, their largest of the night. There's Dick inside, lost it. Dick goes up and Dick banks it in.
Yeah, good patience there as Waverly getting deeper into their bench, and good power move up through for the layup.
Alexander one-on-one with Pinkerton over to Rosenberger near side. Now McBride top of the key. 2-3 look for the Warriors defensively. Alexander pump fakes. Alexander now Rosenberger, corner three off the mark. It's Vance right there for the rebound. Dotson up the floor, Pinkerton. Pinkerton tried to go into the paint, loses it, but right there to recover it is Jennings. 5 minutes to go in the first half, 12-point lead for Waverly. Dotson picks it up top of the key. Over to Pinkerton near side. Pinkerton driving. Pinkerton the floater off the glass, no good. Dotson the offensive rebound. Now Dick in the post. Dick using his size high off the glass. And the foul, Matthew Dick going to work on the block.
What a big time play there from Dotson. Runs down the offensive rebound and he spaced it back out. Drops the good post feed, and Matthew Dick able to take it up to the other side of the rim there and get the and one opportunity. Well done.
You know, if you're Eastern, you can't panic. You can't think that you're going to get those 12 points back all at once. Just got to chip away one possession at a time. Matthew Dick helping the cause there. Well, he misses the free throw, and Cassie hauls it in for Waverly. Waverly looking for back-to-back wins on back-to-back nights. There's a turnover taken away by Pinkerton. Pass intended for Rosenberger on the baseline. Dotson out to Pinkerton, 4-3, it's good. Chase Pinkerton from downtown. That'll force Coach Jarrett to burn a timeout. 4:16 left in the first half. We'll keep it here. Eastern Brown cutting into that deficit. They've got it down to 7 after the triple from Pinkerton.
Well, it's started on the defensive end. They've been able to knock some balls loose, get out into the open court. That time I thought they ran their lanes really well as Pinkerton kind of trailing the play. Great point guard play from Dotson, made a good decision, able to knock down the triple. But yeah, if you're Eastern, you got to be able to pick up the pressure without fouling. You've put Waverly on the free throw line quite a bit here in the early going. If you can pick up the pressure without fouling, get some of those deflections, now all of a sudden you can play offense in the secondary break before the athleticism and the length of Waverly is able to set up defensively.
4:16 remaining here in the first half. A three-pointer from Chase Pinkerton cuts Waverly's lead down to 7. Landon Russell dishes it to McBride up the floor. McBride out to Kazee, back to McBride. Waverly trying to work the perimeter. Myers over to Landon Russell. Warriors staying in a 2-3 zone look defensively.
Yeah, trying to apply some pressure with the extension of the guards.
Cassie high post, Alexander from downtown off the back iron. Long offensive rebound won by Landon Russell. Waverly will keep possession. Russell cutting down the paint, lost it, back out to McBride. McBride inside, Alexander, the jumper, gets it to fall.
Yeah, one of the biggest problems against athletic teams is when you're in that extended zone is finishing up with a defensive rebound. Waverly able to win an extra possession.
Eastern Brown with it on the other end. Dick over to Vance, top of the key. Now Dotson launches from downtown. That's no good. Alexander the rebound. Alexander up the floor. Kazee too long a pass and he throws it away.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if he thought Kazee was going to cut more to the rim. Kazee kind of flattened out to the three-point line with some of the Eastern defenders back. Backcourt mates not on the same page there, results in a turnover.
Both teams with 3 games remaining in the regular season following tonight. We talked about in the pregame, this is an important one ahead of the tournament draw. Waverly in front so far. Eastern not backing down just yet. Pinkerton, high post, feeds Dick on the block. Dick underneath. Dick reverse layup, all backboard, and Russell right there for the rebound.
Great job by Myers being able to defend without fouling.
Russell pull up 3, that's no good. One shot possession for the Tigers. Eastern looking to make them pay. Pinkerton from downtown, that's no good either. Rebound fought for and won by Sawyer Myers. Both teams, I think, trying to slow things down a little bit. Keep possession if you're Waverly. Might want to think about just sitting down and making Eastern guard you.
Yeah, especially in the zone here. The more you stretch them out, the more that middle starts to open up.
Alexander at the logo. Over to McBride. Dotson got a hand on the pass. He takes it away. Dotson on the other end. Can't finish the layup, but he'll head to the free throw line. Fouled by Kai Cassie. It's a good steal and attack from the junior Kane Dotson.
Yeah, it really was, and that's where I talk about you can't let them get you stretched out. Once they extend that far, you've got to be able to get that ball into that free throw line area and attack it from the middle. That time Dotson able to poke one free in the passing lane and earn a trip to the free throw line. Knock these down, you can be back within 7.
Dotson can't knock down the first one. 63% on the year coming into tonight. Carter Cluxton back into the game for Eastern. Matthew Dick will head to the bench.
Not only has Waverly been able to get there more, but they've been able to shoot a much higher percentage from the free throw line. Eastern already missed 4 free throws here in the first half.
Dotson did not score in the win over Cincinnati Country Day, but he's got his first point of the night after splitting the difference at the line. He'll head to the bench. Sam Raymer back on the floor for the Warriors.
I say that, Carson, you look up there, they're down 8. Eastern's got to feel pretty fortunate to still be where they're at here. This 155 and counting is going to be really important into the locker room for both teams.
Gunnar Myers to Sawyer Myers. Now McBride, corner 3, knocks it down. Davion McBride, nothing but net from outside.
Notice where it ended up coming from. They got the ball to the middle like I'm talking about, and that inside-out 3 is a high percentage look.
Back to an 11-point advantage for the Tigers. Pinkerton one-on-one with Alexander. Over to Vance. Vance on the drive, jump stops, puts it up, no basket, foul on the floor.
That was a big-time move there. A lot of contact. Going to say the foul came on the jump stop, so they're not going to give him the act of shooting.
It'll go on Gunnar Myers, his first of the night. The box set on the baseline out for Eastern. Vance to set things up. Vance finds Pinkerton cutting down the paint. They got to back it out. Pinkerton in the post, puts it up, and they're going to say it's an offensive foul. Cage Alexander puts his body on the line.
Well, outstanding job of drawing the contact and selling it. Veteran officiating crew here, you can tell they didn't want to make the call right away because you never want to have one guy say charge, one guy say block. They blew the whistle. They recognized the official that had the right to make the call, and then he went ahead and made the call.
Have some cleanup duty here. Minute 18 left in the first half. Alexander will bring it up the floor for Waverly after drawing the charge. Alexander across half court, over to Gunnar Myers at the logo. Warriors staying in a 2-3 zone. McBride at the wing, out to Cassie. 1 minute to go till halftime. McBride inside, Myers to the basket, can't finish. And a tie-up for the rebound, possession arrow pointing to Waverly.
Yeah, and I know he missed it, but again, notice on 2 straight possessions, when you get the ball to the middle there, Carson, you can have a lot of success against the zone, but you got to be patient enough, and then you got to be clean enough with the basketball to get it there and play inside out or play that high-low game.
54 to go in the first half. Casilla lobs one up for McBride. Now Alexander. Waverly going to take their time against this 2-3 zone for Eastern. Gunnar Myers, high post, out to Alexander. Alexander backs it out, got it taken away by Pinkerton. Pinkerton spinning at the elbow. Pinkerton, the step through high off the glass, can't finish. McBride with the rebound. Waverly a 3-on-2. Here's Alexander in transition with the finish. And a nice find from Davion McBride.
Yeah, it really was, and you see it so often. You miss the easy one on one end, and it results in a layup on the other.
Pinkerton with it, 10 seconds to go. Last possession for Eastern here in the first half. Pinkerton lost the dribble, gets it back, finds Cluxton inside. He's blocked by Myers, but a foul. This Waverly crowd does not agree at all. Thought it was a clean block by Gunnar Myers.
Well, and again, their size and length have challenged a lot of shots at the rim. Eastern's been pretty frustrated not getting to the free throw line more than they have. That time they do get the call, but again, they're not converting when they get there.
The Waverly student section letting their voices be heard, to say the least. Maybe some words that we can't repeat. Cluxton missed the first one. His second one is up and good. Cluxton 1 for 2 at the line. One final heave for Waverly. Awaits Myers to inbound. Sawyer Myers, half court. Almost had it. But Waverly heads into halftime with a 12-point lead on their home floor against the 16-2 Eastern Brown Warriors. We'll step aside, come back, give our thoughts on the first half. Waverly leading Eastern Brown 32-20 at the half. You're watching Ohio High School boys basketball here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
At North Fork Animal Clinic, we're more than your pet's health care. We're your neighbors. We combine top quality veterinary care with the availability you can count on, keeping tails wagging and pets thriving. And as proud supporters of youth sports in Southern Ohio, we're committed to helping our whole community grow strong. North Fork Animal Clinic, caring for pets, supporting our community.
For 175 years, the Glockner name has stood for trust. Today, that promise continues. Every time your family turns the key. Generations have trusted us for one reason. We never stopped caring. From preschool drop-offs to road trips, you leave our service center knowing your family is in the safest hands possible. 175 years of social proof that this isn't just service. It's a promise from our family to yours.
Experience the hometown Chevrolet difference. Check out our huge selection of Silverado trucks, Equinox SUVs, and the latest Chevy models. Priced to move and ready to hit the road today. Plus, with the Hometown Advantage, you get free oil changes for life and a 10-year, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty at no extra cost. That's real value and real peace of mind. Your Hometown Chevrolet is proud to be your trusted local dealer of new and pre-owned inventory, delivering unbeatable deals and top-notch service. Visit us today at 501 West Emmett Avenue in Waverly or start shopping online at yourhometownchevy.com.
Our employees certainly get the credit for that growth. The relationships that they build, people want to deal with people they can trust, they know, feel connected to. And I think that's where a community bank such as Kingston really shines. The color of money is the same no matter where you go, but I think the people behind it is what makes the difference. Having the empathy to understand what's going on in someone's business or personal lives and how you might be able to help it. I think our customers expect that, want that, and truthfully, they deserve that.
Rathkamp Financial is a comprehensive financial services firm committed to helping our clients improve their long-term financial success. Our customized programs seek to grow, protect, and conserve our clients' wealth by delivering personalized service and expertise. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member, FINRA SIPC. Please call us at 740-775-1040 to schedule a consultation.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
Are you looking for the best deals on quality used trucks and cars?
Great news. Chillicothe Truck has what you're looking for.
Choose from a wide selection of makes and models. All vehicles undergo a detailed multi-point inspection and extensive reconditioning before hitting the lot. Our friendly team offers a no-pressure sales experience, ensuring you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Plus, you can customize your ride with our extensive range of truck accessories, from bed covers to lift kits. Stop by 173 Rennick Avenue in Chillicothe or call us today at 740-773-8782 to get started right now.
Back here at the Waverly Downtown Gym, as the Tigers currently hold a 12-point lead, 32-20 on the 16-2 Eastern Brown Warriors in this non-league battle. Carson Francis and Shane Combs back with you from Waverly. Shane, your thoughts on the first half? An impressive half and a good showing from Waverly.
Yeah, it really was. I thought Waverly, right from the get-go, kind of was the aggressor. Downhill on the offensive end, protecting the rim at the defensive end. They've been able to get to the free throw line 14 times in the first half, and to their credit, they've knocked down 12 of 14. On the other side, Eastern's only been able to get there 8 times, but when they have been able to get there, they haven't been able to convert, only 3 of 8. So that's a big, big stat when you consider Waverly +9 in the scoring column there when it comes to free throw shooting. Led by Cage Alexander, 14 points, had 7 in both quarters, 6 of 6 from the free throw line. But here's what I like about it, Carson. Alexander's been able to get off and get his, but you've had other Waverly Tigers in the scoring column. Kazee with 3. McBride comes in, knocks down 2 threes. He has 6. Russell, the hustle points, he's had 6. Gunnar Myers with 3. Sawyer Myers hasn't scored, but he's certainly been involved in doing a lot of things, so we talked about it. Yes, you need Alexander to get off and score the basketball, but you want to try to spread the wealth, and I think Waverly's had a contribution from a lot of different people.
Yeah, you talked about just from top to bottom how productive Waverly's been. Davion McBride's hit a couple threes. Landon Russell's had a lot of rebounds, scored a couple times inside. The Myers boys have been very productive inside on the glass, scored when they had the opportunity. Just all around, top to bottom, great effort from the Tigers. But for Eastern Brown, we talked about all throughout the first half, their ability to capitalize at the free throw line, or their lack thereof, really has cost them so far. What else does Eastern Brown need to improve on coming into the second half?
Well, they're just going to have to convert a little bit more at the rim. I think Waverly's size and length has been a factor. I know Eastern's been a little upset. Maybe they haven't ended up getting a whistle or 2 that they thought they deserved, but nonetheless, they've had their best success, Carson, when they've been able to poke the ball loose defensively and get out into that secondary break. You don't have to deal with the length and the athleticism of Waverly when you're able to play out in space a little bit more. You look here, Chase Pinkerton has 8 points on the evening. Other than that, you got Matthew Dick with 6, Carter Cluxton with 3, Jaden Florence with 2, and then 1 for Kane Dotson. So they just haven't been able to quite get anything going on the offensive end in terms of what we're used to seeing from Eastern Brown.
And you talked about Matthew Dick inside with 6 points. He had a couple really nice post plays towards the end of the half, but he's a guy that, if you ask me, he's someone that Eastern kind of needs to get going here in the second half, especially if they want to try and get back into this one, use his height advantage on some of these Waverly defenders. He was their leading scorer at one point in the season. His last 4 games, though, he averages 12 points a game on the year. He's averaged just 6.5 points a game over his last 4. I know he would like to see himself get going, and I'm sure here in the second half, Eastern Brown would like to see him get really high and try and come back in this one.
Well, you're right, and again, I think a little bit of that's the inability to convert at the free throw line. He was able to get some looks. Myers bringing some physicality. Waverly even got some minutes there from Garrett Rosenberger. So, yeah, I agree with you. If you can get him some touches, play some inside out, I think that would be a great place to start on the offensive end. But I'd really like to see Eastern be able to string some stops together, maybe even call some turnovers and see if they can't get out a little bit and maybe find some open space at the three-point line, or maybe get downhill themselves, get some of those guards to the rim. Listen, they've had a lot of good looks. If you looked at a shot chart, I don't know that Eastern would hate the looks they're getting. They're just going to have to convert a little higher than the 20 points they scored in the first half.
And you also have a couple guys for Eastern who are in foul trouble that you would have liked to have had out on the floor for a little bit. Braxton Vance picked up 2. Jaden Florence, who you tried to use a little bit off the bench, give you guys some depth, picked up 2 early on. So if you're Eastern, just a matter of you want to play good defense, but you can't put Waverly at the line too often with how much they've been able to convert there.
Yeah, that's a great point, and the foul trouble certainly did start to rear its ugly head there in the second quarter. So listen, if you're Waverly, you like where you're at, you've got to be able to come out and match the energy that you had in the first half. You know that there's a lot of pride in that program down there in the other bench. So you know Eastern's going to come out in the third quarter with some energy of their own. Can Waverly match that? And if you're Eastern, it's no time to panic. I know you've talked several times about their ability to come from behind, and I'm sure that's what they're planning to do when they come out of the locker room.
Yeah, Coach Buechler has a program that doesn't back down to anything. I know John and I had the Instant Classic down at Peebles earlier this year where they led by as many as 16. Peebles came back, took the lead. Sam Raymer hit a 3 on the very next possession to give Eastern a much-needed win. And then, again, we talked about their last game. They trailed majority of the first half and then came out, won the second half by 20. Looks like Eastern is going to need a little more of the same here in this one if they want to come out on top and improve to 17-2.
Yeah, I think the spacing is so important as well. I really enjoyed the game that you and John had against Peebles. I know John and I had Eastern earlier in the year against Fairfield, and the biggest thing I see tonight is the spacing is just clogged up by the athleticism of Waverly, and that's why I mentioned the open court a little bit, but it's a game of adjustment. You go to the locker room, another half of basketball to play. We say it every time we work together, Carson. First 3 to 4 minutes of the third quarter will tell the story, and tonight will be no different.
Possession arrow points to Eastern Brown to start the second half. What would you like to see on this first offensive possession for the Warriors?
Like to see a good ball reversal with a good paint touch. Let's play inside out. Like you said, Matthew Dick in the post, or maybe some dribble penetration to get a good look at the three-point line. But it's so hard to play offense on that first side against Waverly because they're so long and athletic. Got to get a ball reversal. You got to move the midline back and forth a little bit.
2 of Southeast Ohio's better programs on the floor tonight. 14 combined district titles between the two. Waverly looking to get a signature win before the tournament draw and then get into the postseason. And who knows what can happen. Last year, this is a team that they finished 9-16 overall, but they got hot at the right time. got into the tournament, beat Washington Courthouse in the opening round, and then upset a really good Jackson team in the district semifinal before falling to Unioto in the district final. This is the time of year where you want to be playing your best basketball, and I'm sure Coach Jarrett has been emphasizing that to his team, especially here as of late.
Oh, no question. I think that's why at 10-8, 3-4, some people feel like Waverly's had an up and down year. I think they are falling victim of the success they had, Carson, at the end of last year. So you go and do what they did with a really young basketball team, and the expectations shoot up through the roof. Now, still a pretty young basketball team at 10-8, looking to play some good basketball down the stretch here. Waverly's just fine. This is a really, really talented bunch.
Eastern Brown possession to start the second half. First 5 that started the game back on the floor for Eastern Brown. For Waverly, the first 5 that started the game minus Landon Russell, Davion McBride out there to start the second half. Pinkerton inbounds it to Dotson in the backcourt, and we're underway in the second half from Waverly. Pinkerton, Dick inside. Dick goes up and draws the foul.
Okay, good player movement, a lot of action going on there. They get it over to the wing, get the post player down there, and he draws the contact. Now the next step's been able to go to the charity stripe and convert.
Dick's first free throw on this trip, he knocks it down. It's a step in the right direction. We talked about Eastern struggling at the stripe in the first half. Second shot from Matthew Dick, up and good. Knocks down both to cut the deficit to 10.
And it allows you to set up your pressure. They're going to extend out here a little bit as they were doing throughout the second quarter.
Cassie across half court for Waverly. Now dishes it to Gunnar Myers. Back to Cassie at the elbow. Eastern staying in that 2-3 look that they ended the first half in.
Yeah, we talked about trying to get it to the free throw line area there.
Cassie from downtown off the back iron. Offensive rebound. Sawyer Myers tried to grab it, and it's out of bounds. Eastern Brown basketball.
Yeah, it just pointed the wrong way at first. People started to get worked up there a little bit, and then he corrected it.
We got a good showing from the Eastern Brown crowd. Made the trip down 32 here to Waverly. Sure, they were relieved to see the correction there.
Yeah, they love their basketball.
Braxton Vance fires from downtown. That's in and out. And Alexander high points the rebound. It falls into the hands of Cassie, but not before a foul called against Waverly. That'll keep it with the Warriors.
I think they said when Cassie came down that he was on the end line.
Stepped on the base.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the call. Dick will inbound to Braxton Vance. Warriors with the new possession. Dotson over to Carter Cluxton, feeds Dick on the baseline. Dick working on Gunnar Myers. Or that's Vance rather. Gets it out to Pinkerton. Pinkerton trying to back down Alexander, finds a cutting Vance on the baseline, deflected off of Gunnar Myers, and the Warriors will reset the possession.
Yeah, again, pretty good player movement. I'd like to see Eastern swing the ball side to side a little bit and not let that Waverly size on the midline just camp out in the middle.
Pinkerton to inbound. Finds Cluxton in the corner. Back to Pinkerton on the post. Pinkerton puts up the jumper, gets the bounce. Chase Pinkerton with some nice post work.
Yeah, great versatility. Had the smaller defender on him. He's able to get to a spot and get the soft jump hook to go.
Here's Gunnar Myers. Skip pass over to Sawyer Myers from downtown off the back iron. Long offensive rebound taken by Alexander, but it's stripped by Pinkerton. Pinkerton to the basket on the other end, and the finish. Transition bucket from Chase Pinkerton forces Coach Jarrett to call a timeout for Waverly.
Carson, all that is just some want-to out front, right? 50-50 ball. Pinkerton just goes and wins it and then converts on the other end. And boy, that didn't take long. 32-20 turns 32-26. Timeout Waverly.
6-0 run to start the half for the Warriors. You see Coach Buechler coaching up his Warriors right now. Coach Buechler widely regarded as one of the best coaches in the Southeast District, and even going as far as the state of Ohio. 488 career wins, often seen as a guy who's done a lot more with a lot less when you put him on the scale of some of the other coaches that he's up there with on the all-time wins list.
Well, I've always said you love the basketball in the Shack. You know, they don't have football down there, so it's been kind of a basketball paradise, if you will, in that conference. And man, he's been doing it a long, long time. The longevity and the consistency are the two things that jump out at me. Just such a great leader of young men.
Waverly trying to respond to a 6-0 Eastern Brown run. Here's Sawyer Myers in the corner. Back out to Gunnar Myers. Waverly swinging it around the perimeter. Davion McBride dishes out to Alexander. Alexander driving baseline, double clutch layup, can't finish. Vance grabbed the rebound up the floor. Pinkerton in transition. Pinkerton, the easy layup.
Carson, a little bit what I'm talking about. Get that early offense before the defense can set. Easy two for Pinkerton.
As McBride launches a triple, too short. Long offensive rebound. Cassie tried to chase it down, but he can't get there in time. You sense the Warriors smell blood in the water.
Well, and Waverly started to settle a little bit. Perimeter shots here in the second half. Many a times without the ball touching the paint first. If you knock one down, no big deal, but when they don't fall, you can start to get Eastern out into the open court a little bit, and here they are back within 4 already.
Sam Raymer back into the action for Eastern Brown. So he has it on the near side wing. Waverly throwing his own look at Eastern Brown now. Pinkerton picks up his dribble, gets it back to Raymer. Now Dotson in the corner, finds Vance on the block. Vance, fadeaway jumper off the back iron. Alexander the rebound, trying to push it up the floor. He'll back it out.
Yeah, nice change of pace defensively from Waverly. Made it tough to get anything in the paint, and Eastern kind of forced one there.
Sawyer Myers working on Raymer, dishes it to Alexander in the corner. Tigers trying to find something inside. There's Cassie near side wing, guarded tight by Dotson. Over to McBride, now Gunnar Myers. Still a 2-3 look for Eastern Brown. Alexander driving, jump stops, tried to dish it out, he lost it. And it'll stay with Waverly. Landon Russell will hit back on the floor for Waverly as Gunnar Myers will head to the bench.
Yeah, just a lot more attention to detail in the dribble gap, a lot more activity. Much more focused in the first half. It's been a pretty good defensive start here for Eastern in the third quarter.
Alexander to inbound box set for Waverly. Alexander looking, finds McBride in the corner. Now Russell. Russell back to McBride. The Tigers swinging it around the perimeter. Russell, high post, puts up the jumper, in and out. Pinkerton chasing it down. Pinkerton driving, Pinkerton jump stops. Kicks it out, Raymer launches a three, can't get it to fall. A good box out and rebound by Sawyer Myers. Alexander up the floor, Cassie underneath, McBride the cut, McBride the finish. Beautiful ball movement, McBride with a nice kiss at the end.
Yeah, great unselfish basketball, sharing it and getting the easy deuce.
First points of the second half for Waverly. Here's Dick inside off the glass. Dotson finds the open spot. Dick spotting up for the easy layup. Myers in the half court for Waverly. Now Russell in the corner. 12-point lead for Waverly to start the second half. It's dwindled down to just 4. Landon Russell, far side wing, guarded by Dotson. Now Alexander top of the key. Alexander back to Russell. Russell launches from downtown, can't get it to fall. Pinkerton races up the floor for Eastern Brown. Pinkerton spins. Pinkerton off 2 feet, can't finish. Russell high points it.
Yeah, missed opportunity there. Got it pretty deep, just couldn't get it to go.
Russell over to Cassie, back to Russell. Russell back to Cassie, again extra pass. Sawyer Myers from the corner, that's no good.
One shot and done. Here pretty much the whole third quarter. Eastern doing a pretty good job with the inside position on the glass.
Talked about how Waverly was starting to settle a little bit for those triples, not attacking like they were in the first half. Here's Raymer from outside, too long. A fight for the rebound. Alexander collided with his teammate. Russell collided with him from behind, and it results in a travel. Turnover for Waverly.
Yeah, a little bit of friendly fire coming down on one another there. Unfortunately, going to turn it back over to Eastern. And if you're Eastern, you've had some okay looks here. You haven't been able to convert, but because of your defense, still within 4 here, only have allowed 2 points here in the third quarter to Waverly.
Jaden Florence back on the floor for Eastern, as well as Carter Cluxton. Pass for Dick got taken away. Waverly a 2-on-1, Kazee to the basket, kisses off the glass for the finish. Stealing basket, Kai Kazee. Lead back up to 6.
Nice job, Rosenberger, with a little poke away.
Rosenberger also back onto the floor for Waverly. Florence picks up his dribble, finds Dick at the top of the key. Handoff, Dotson. Dotson steps back, puts up the 3 off the back iron. Long offensive rebound won by Cluxton. Cluxton back out to Dotson. Baseline drive. Dotson lost it. Gets it right back. Here's Florence now. Florence got it poked away from behind and out of bounds off of the Tigers.
Yeah, pretty good looks at it there. Just got to stay with it. If you're Waverly, got to be able to wrap up the possession with a rebound.
Dotson to set up the baseline out for Eastern. Dotson backs it out after almost getting it stripped by Landon Russell. Cluxton back to Dotson. Florence, far side wing. Dick setting the screen. Florence picks it up, finds a rolling Matthew Dick. Perfect pick and roll from the Warriors. Matthew Dick connects inside.
Outstanding basketball. They pushed him up off the screen the first time. They just turned and re-screened on the roll, wide open for the layup.
Garrett Rosenberger in the corner now. Kai Kazee. 40 seconds to go in the third quarter. A resurgent third quarter from Eastern Brown, looking for one more stop. Kazee near side. Good pressure from Dotson. Now Alexander far side. Alexander working on a defender. High pass over to Kazee. And a foul committed by Dotson.
Yeah, no real harm there. Nowhere close to the bonus. If you want to continue to be aggressive here when the team's trying to hold it, great time to try to cause the turnover. If you're Waverly, you want to execute time and score. You have the possession arrow, so a chance to double up here. You're going to get a look at it to finish the third quarter, and then you're going to get possession to start the fourth quarter.
Davion McBride to inbound after he checks back into the game. 15 to go in the third. Alexander across half court. Skip pass, Landon Russell doubled, almost taken away by Dotson. Here's Alexander, he's fouled by Raymer. With 6.4 remaining in the frame.
Just Raymer's second. Again, a high basketball IQ play there. Don't let Alexander go and get an easy one. Go ahead and take the foul. Force the out of bounds underneath.
Kazee to inbound. Kazee throws one up for Russell. 5 to go. Russell doubled. Russell tied up, and he traveled. And now with 3.3 seconds left in the third, Eastern's going to have one more crack at it.
And again, that's why you're so aggressive defensively. Again, the common foul's not going to hurt you. You never know when you'll get a tie-up or a travel call, which they got there.
Coach Buechler going to want a timeout for Eastern Brown. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. 3.3 to go in the third. Warriors currently with an 8-point advantage here in the third quarter. And just a little bit of time to maybe inch even closer one more time before we head to the fourth.
Oh, certainly plenty of time here to try to draw something up and get a quality look at it. But yeah, if you're Eastern, you feel real good about the energy you brought out of the locker room, and you've been able to get right back in this one. It would be a little cherry on top here if you could hit one at the buzzer.
Eastern trailed by 12 at the halftime break. Started this quarter on an 8-0 run. Playing from behind, but looking to win their 4th straight. Certainly chipped away at this deficit. It'll be Dotson to inbound. Dotson looking, gets it into Cluxton. Cluxton puts it up at the horn, no good. And that brings us to the end of the 3rd quarter from Waverly. We've got a good one. Tigers leading Eastern Brown 36-32 as we head to the final 8 minutes. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Ohio High School basketball here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie & Son Trucking each week at SOSAOhio.com.
3 quarters down and 1 to go from the Waverly downtown gym as the Tigers still holding on to a 36-32 lead over Eastern Brown. They'll have the ball to start the final quarter, but safe to say, Shane, Eastern Brown up off the mat.
Oh, no question about it. Give them a lot of credit. Led by the perimeter play of Chase Pinkerton, the post play of Matthew Dick. Chase Pinkerton 14 now, Matthew Dick with 12.
As Alexander races across half court. Dishes it to Kai Cassie. Cassie trapped, finds Alexander in the corner for 3, in and out. Gunnar Myers the offensive rebound and the putback swatted away. Will stay with Waverly, but a good job in damage control by the Eastern defense.
Yeah, one of the few second chance opportunities for Waverly here in the second half. Myers able to win a possession.
Landon Russell feeds Gunnar Myers. Now Sawyer Myers baseline. Myers finds a cutting Russell. Russell almost lost it, and it's taken away by Dotson. Pinkerton at the elbow. Pinkerton picks up his dribble, finds Jaden Florence. Florence on the drive, pulls up, can't hit the midi. Russell with the rebound. Waverly trying to slow things down on offense.
Yeah, not a bad look at all. Pretty clean mid-range jumper, but you'd love to just see a post touch there on the first possession of the 4th quarter.
Sawyer Myers, corner 3. That's no good. Florence tracks it down.
Yeah, Waverly ice cold from the 3-point line second half.
Pinkerton picks it up at the elbow, finds Florence outside for 3. That's no good. Rebound taken by Alexander, wins the battle against Matthew Dick. Alexander showing off the athleticism. At a disadvantage size-wise, goes up and grabs a rebound.
Yeah, both teams kind of settling for the 3 and unable to get it to go.
Myers inside, gets it to fall. Good cut from Gunnar Myers for the basket.
Yeah, kind of screened the zone there, dropped the bounce pass to the moving Myers, and he's able to convert. That was pretty well executed.
38-32 Waverly. Pinkerton got it stripped away by Alexander, and he stepped out of bounds. It'll stay with Eastern Brown.
They poked it away, and we had a good look at it right down here in front of us. The foot was on the sideline.
Some substitutions coming in for the Warriors. Sam Raymer and Braxton Vance back on the floor. Pinkerton to inbound, 6:16 remaining. Dotson off the screen. Dotson backs it out, finds Vance from downtown. Can't get the roll. That ball touched every part of the rim, but would not fall. You could hear the collective sigh from the Eastern crowd behind us.
Yeah, I had a good look at it.
Russell hauls in the errant pass from Cassie. Cassie working on Dotson, and he gets fouled.
Ball pressure is going to continue to pick up here. That's Dotson's fourth. He's going to go to the bench here for probably a few minutes. 5:46 left in the game. We'll see how long he keeps his point guard over there. But again, if you're Waverly, you got to be strong with the basketball and stay aggressive here in this last 5 minutes plus.
Jaden Florence back into the game for the Warriors. Alexander driving. Alexander blocked but fouled. This is a good jab step and drive there from the sophomore Alexander.
Carson, don't you feel like that was more what we watched in the first quarter, and Waverly maybe getting away from that a little bit? That time relentless to the goal, going to go back to the free throw line where he's a perfect 6 for 6 on the evening.
Third foul against Sam Raymer tonight as Alexander knocks down another. He's 7 for 7 now.
That's his 15th point of the night, but it's his first point here in the second half. Eastern doing a nice job on the talented sophomore.
Second shot, Alexander gets the roll. Back up to an 8-point lead for the Tigers. Pinkerton up the floor for Eastern. Pinkerton trying to find somebody open. Pinkerton got it stripped, or did he? It's a double dribble. Pinkerton arguing that Alexander stripped it away from behind.
Eastern coaching staff had a pretty good look at it. They seem to agree with the call. No argument there.
Carter Cluxton will re-enter the action for the Warriors. Matthew Dick will head to the bench. Alexander with it for Waverly. Tigers looking for a signature win before Sunday's tournament draw. Sawyer Myers short corner. Picks it up, finds Alexander. Alexander working baseline. Alexander trapped, gets it out to Sawyer Myers. Now Cassie at the logo. Cassie finds a cutting Alexander. Alexander lost it. Gets tied up, puts it up anyway. And that's one way to get a basket.
Just the traffic. I think he's afraid it was going to be a jump ball, and he just able to get the shot off, and it went in.
That doesn't describe the night Cage Alexander's having. I don't know what does. Pinkerton answers with the step through off the glass.
That was a clever move in traffic as well. Pinkerton now is 16.
Eastern in need of a stop if they want to have a chance at taking this one. Alexander driving, draws the foul. And Alexander shaken up after the play.
And Carson, I like how they're able to get Alexander into the middle of the zone pressure. We talked about that in the third quarter. I thought Waverly was playing out around the perimeter. They were settling a little bit. They're able to get Alexander into the middle of it there, and he's been a little bit of a problem for him here in the fourth quarter.
Alexander, the leading scorer for this Waverly squad. He'll head to the bench after being shaken up. After that drive, Davion McBride will come in and shoot the free throws for him. King Dotson stands at the scores table waiting to sub in for Eastern Brown. McBride at the line, knocks down his first. McBride had a pretty productive first half, knocked down a couple triples. Played some big minutes down the stretch of this season for Waverly.
Oh, there's no question. Good shooter of the basketball and nice athlete, works hard defensively, and he certainly provided some offense for him tonight. That's his 9th point. He's getting ready to shoot to go into double figures.
Second shot from McBride is up and it's through. But Davion McBride steps in for Cage Alexander, knocks down 2 from the stripe.
Yeah, they're saying Alexander can't re-enter the game there because no time had gone off the clock. Yes, he's got to wait one more dead ball.
There's Dotson over to Florence for Eastern Brown. Florence off the screen, jump stops, finds Pinkerton. Pinkerton trying to go middle. Pinkerton out to Vance, top of the key. Some tight defense by Landon Russell. Vance puts it up, no shot. The foul on the floor against Waverly. It'll go on Russell.
Good aggressive move. All of a sudden the Waverly lead back up to 10. Coming up on the 4-minute mark. Eastern's gonna have to go here a little bit.
Now Alexander will come back into the game. Landon Russell heads out with 4:03 remaining after he picks up his third foul. Pinkerton to inbound, looking for someone, finds Dotson. Dotson hands it off Florence. Florence pull up three, it's good. Jaden Florence in double coverage. Knocks down the triple.
Yeah, big time shot when they needed it. Eastern was searching for offense and they found it there in Florence.
Alexander across the timeline. Alexander got it poked away. Scramble for it, Alexander gets it back. McBride driving to the basket. McBride the finish. Timeout Waverly, 3:32 remaining. It's a full timeout, we'll take it with them. Davion McBride pushes the lead to 9. You're watching Ohio High School basketball here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Are you looking for the best deals on quality used trucks and cars?
Great news. Chillicothe Truck has what you're looking for.
Choose from a wide selection of makes and models. All vehicles undergo a detailed multi-point inspection and extensive reconditioning before hitting the lot. Our friendly team offers a no-pressure sales experience, ensuring you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Plus, you can customize your ride with our extensive range of truck accessories, from bed covers to lift kits. Stop by 173 Rennick Avenue in Chillicothe or call us today at 740-773-8782 to get started right now.
Have you experienced simply brilliant fiber internet? Yeah, that's Glow Fiber. Lightning fast internet that keeps up with your busy life. A reliable fiber-to-the-home network whether you're working, learning, playing, or streaming. And best of all, Glow Fiber has real local support from real people who are happy to talk to you. And switch now for your first month free. Faster, more reliable fiber internet with real local support. Glow Fiber, simply brilliant.
3:32 remaining here at the Waverly Downtown Gym. A basket from Davion McBride pushes the lead back up to 9 for the Waverly Tigers. Davion McBride's had a nice night offensively.
Yeah, there's no question about it. It's been a great spark now with the 12 on the night.
Dotson over to Florence Eastern trying to answer back. Florence to the basket, slices it off the backboard. And it's Alexander coming up with it for Waverly.
Yeah, Eastern felt like they should have had a trip to the free throw line there, but they play on, and now Waverly, chance to run some clock.
Cassie skip past Sawyer Myers, now McBride, far side wing. Coach Jarrett instructing his team move the ball. Alexander to the basket, draws the foul again. How good has Cage Alexander been at getting downhill and earning trips to the free throw line?
Well, and Carson, the adjustment here in the fourth quarter, they've been able to get him to the middle of the court. So it's first, he's obviously very talented with the ball, but what I like about it here in the fourth quarter is his movement away from the ball. So once he's able to catch it in the middle against that zone pressure, then he's obviously dynamic downhill, and he's been living at the free throw line. Looking down here at my sheet, 8 for 8 on the evening. Going to go back and shoot his 9th and 10th free throw.
They'll tag Braxton Vance with the foul. His third on the night.
Yeah, we watched Alexander against Jackson, and then here again tonight, getting to the free throw line a lot, and 61%. We've talked about that number a little bit, but that number's on its way up. We've seen him shoot the ball really, really well from the line.
Timeout, Eastern Brown, 2:58 remaining. It's a 30-second timeout. Warriors trailing by 10. And we've talked about how Waverly's been able to just attack the basket offensively, get good looks inside, earn trips to the free throw line. This is a great sign before the tournament for the Tigers.
Well, it really is, and what you like about it is Eastern answered the bell out of the locker room, made the run at Waverly. Waverly was able to absorb that a little bit and answer with a little bit of a run of its own. So going into the tournament, both teams can take some different parts of this game on film. And because if you're going to make a tournament run, you got to be able to win different types of games. Sometimes you're going to play out in front. You're probably, if you're going to make a really special run, at some point you're going to have to probably come from behind. So, I think both teams would feel good about the way they've played in spurts, and then there's probably some other times where they probably wish they would have been a little bit more aggressive.
Corbin Florence, the freshman, checks into the game for Eastern Brown, his first action of the night. Cage Alexander with one more free throw. Alexander's been at the free throw line a lot tonight, as he can't hit that one. Sawyer Myers, though, the offensive rebound and the putback. Sawyer Myers, the paint presence. Tacks on two more for Waverly. Pinkerton, the step through, can't finish. Gets his own rebound, kicks it out. Vance puts up the three. That's no good. Another offensive rebound taken by the Warriors. Pinkerton inside. Pinkerton pump fakes, puts it up, gets it to fall, and one. Chase Pinkerton does it himself. Got a chance for a three-point play.
Yeah, got to the left hand there. His offhand draws some contact, able to finish. You're able to sub who you want to sub now for your defensive lineup. You're also able to set your defense if he's able to knock down the free throw.
King Dotson and Sam Raymer check back in for Eastern Brown. Landon Russell will re-enter for Waverly in place of Davion McBride.
Yeah, Coach Bugle just going to go a little smaller, a little quicker, so look for him to crank up the pressure a little bit.
Pinkerton knocks down the free throw, completing the three-point play. 49-40, Waverly, 2.5 to go. And a foul before Gunnar Myers can inbound it. It'll go against Eastern Brown. That'll send Waverly to the free throw line.
Yeah, so the rest of the way out, Waverly going to shoot two. You got to believe over the last 2:30 that the free throw line, which has been really good to Waverly tonight, is going to play a big factor in this one.
We'll send Kai Cassie to the foul line. And he knocks down his first one. Florence and Dick back onto the floor for Eastern Brown. Not only has Waverly, I would say, done a better job than Eastern Brown getting to the foul line, but they've also just capitalized when they have the opportunities.
Yeah, no question.
Cassie knocks down both, back to an 11-point lead for the Tigers. That's something we talked about all throughout the first half, really just continuing here in the second half. Tigers doing a great job scoring with the clock stopped. Here's Dick inside, got it stripped by Sawyer Myers. Gets it back out to Florence for three. Florence knocks it down from the corner. Corbin Florence, the freshman, off the bench. Hits the triple late, 51-43 Waverly. Warriors applying some full court pressure. Alexander up to Gunnar Myers. Skip past Sawyer Myers, baseline knocked away by Dotson. It'll stay with Waverly.
Yeah, fortunate there. Waverly didn't love the decision, wanted to bring it back out, work the clock. Now on the OB under. Let's see how aggressive they are for a layup or if they just try to get it in to run some clock here.
Cassie throws one up to Russell. Got it taken away by the Warriors. Florence comes up with it. Dotson with the deflection. Pinkerton underneath. Pinkerton in the post, turns around, puts it up, and banks it in. Back down to a 6-point game. Chase Pinkerton not quitting till the final whistle. Alexander fouled across half court by Matthew Dick.
Yeah, he had no choice there. Once he broke the backcourt pressure, it was almost going to be a clear pass, so he had to take the foul at that point. But Dotson with a big-time defensive play and then the good look ahead from Florence, and man, Pinkerton's been really good with his back to the basket. It just shows off that versatility of the guard. Kind of a point forward type of player. He's really versatile, nice player.
Alexander at the line, can't hit his first one. A rare miss from the stripe for Cage Alexander.
Yeah, all of a sudden, the issue, he hit his first 9, now has missed his last 2. Carson, this one's a big one with this being a 6-point game. If you're Waverly, you'd love to push it back to 7.
Second one from Alexander, in and out. Dotson the rebound. Pinkerton driving. Dick out to Corbin Florence. Florence puts up the 3, in and out. That ball almost went in. You could feel this Warriors crowd behind us was getting ready to burst. And it's out of bounds Waverly basketball. Braxton Vance back on the floor.
Yeah, had a good look at it. Already knocked one down. The rookie not afraid of the moment at all. Put a good stroke on it. Just went all the way in on him and comes out.
Gunnar Myers trying to get it in, finds Landon Russell, and he's almost immediately fouled by Pinkerton.
Russell 2 for 2 on the line, but that ended up coming all the way back in the first quarter. He has 6 in the game, but all 6 of those points came in the first quarter. So a big trip to the free throw line where you'd like to at least come away with 1 if you're Waverly and try to push this back to 3 possession.
Shooting around 78% on the season from the stripe. Gotta like your chances here if you're Waverly's leading all active players on Waverly's roster. As the first one's good. The only Waverly Tiger that's shooting better than him on the season is Tegan Hurt, but he has not played since December with an injury.
Yeah, such a huge loss for Waverly. Terrific player, terrific athlete, and certainly miss him when he's not in the lineup.
Russell's second shot is up and it falls. Landon Russell goes 2 for 2 at the stripe, back to a 3-score game. Dotson one-on-one with Russell. Handoff, Florence, the mid-range jumper deflected by Russell, and another block Landon Russell off the offensive rebound. 2 blocks on 1 possession for Landon Russell.
Yeah, great effort. Let's go out of bounds. Now OB under for Eastern.
Pinkerton to inbound. Minute 11 left. Pinkerton finds Florence in the corner. Florence tried to find Dotson. And who else again? Landon Russell got the deflection.
Yeah, he's been terrific defensively. Again, if you're Waverly, you're just trying to make every catch as hard as possible, not to give any easy looks.
Florence, the mid-range jumper off the mark, gets his own rebound, goes up, and he'll head to the foul line. Jaden Florence providing some excellent minutes off the bench all game for the Warriors and making it count here in the latter stages.
Well, that's just great effort there. He missed the shot, he followed it, got it back, and now you're going to go to the free throw line. As I said, chance to score with the clock stopped. If he makes them both, cuts it back to 2 possession.
He knocks down the first. Braxton Vance back in the game. An offense-defense rotation for Coach Buechler, subbing out Vance for Dick.
Yeah, that's the other key of getting to the free throw line, is it gives the coaching staff a chance to get exactly who they want on the floor for their best defensive pressure package.
Second shot from Florence, he knocks it down. Back down to a 6-point game after the pair of free throws from Jaden Florence. Alexander fouled by Corbin Florence.
So again, as we said about 90 seconds ago, that we thought the last 2 to 3 minutes would have a lot of Waverly free throw shooting. If they're able to convert, this is probably going to end pretty well for them. But if not, they're going to leave the door ajar here, and Eastern's going to try to come back and steal one.
Alexander back at the foul line. Sound like a broken record because he's gotten there a lot tonight. 2 more big ones await the sophomore. He knocks down his first. Dick will come back into the game in place of Braxton Vance. Second shot, Alexander, nothing but net. Under a minute to go here in the downtown gym. Dotson Dotson driving out to Florence. Florence, the step back three. It's good! Corbin Florence, the freshman, hits a big-time tray.
This young man can really fill it up, and he comes out firing. Like I said, 2 of 3 now from the three-point line, back to a 5-point game. Get the quick timeout, get your offensive, defensive substitutions back in, and look to pressure. If you're Waverly, continue to execute your press breaker, trying to get the ball into your free throw shooter's hands, and he's got to be able to go to the line and convert.
Corbin Florence averaging less than a point a game and roughly around 3 to 4 minutes a night, playing arguably the biggest minutes of the season here and having a tremendous game, keeping the Warriors in it here late. Waverly trying to stay in front here and move to 11-8 overall.
Yeah, been a great basketball game. This is the type of game you want down the stretch of the season. You and I said in the pregame we thought it would be a tight one. Honestly, Waverly opened this thing up far more than we felt they would in the first half. Eastern's credit, they come back. Waverly went back up as much as 10, and now here we are back at 5. And again, Waverly just got to be able to execute. Now, another key factor, Carson, is the possession arrow favors Eastern. So as you start to go aggressive to commit the foul, if the opportunity to get in and get the basketball, maybe a tie-up is a way to turn them over.
Myers inbounds it to Alexander. Alexander trap, got it knocked away. Vance with the steal, corner three, airmails it. Rebound taken, Gunnar Myers. That's definitely what you wanted on the defensive side for Eastern Brown. I don't know if that was the shot you were looking for.
Yeah, no question. You get the ball poked away, and you didn't have to be in that big a hurry. 2-possession game. You had a chance to maybe get a better look at it for sure, but nonetheless, Waverly back at the free throw line. Still just a 5-point game. These are big free throws.
It'll be Gunnar Myers, the 6'4" junior, at the line this time. His first one off the front of the rim and bounces out. Matthew Dick back on the floor. Now, regardless of what happens here, it's still a 2-score game.
Waverly only with 3 team fouls. You got to get them off the offensive glass if he does miss it here. First things first, got a rebound.
Second shot, Myers can't get it to fall. Sawyer Myers the offensive board, and the putback's no good. Dick had the rebound, and he gets fouled. Will go on Russell.
Carson, exactly what I just said. They come up with the offensive rebound and get it poked away. What a big sequence that was. Now if you're Eastern, plenty of time. Go down and get a quality look. You can get within 1 possession here.
Dotson across half court for Eastern Brown. Dotson over to Florence. Florence on Alexander. Now Jaden Florence. One-on-one Kassi. Florence the drive. Blocked. Sawyer Myers the rejection. Russell across half court. And he's fouled on the far sideline. Sawyer Myers with the play of the game for the Tigers.
Yeah, that is a big-time play right there. Looks like you're going to have a layup to go 55-52. And you talk about making defensive plays that are every bit as big as making shots. That was one of them right there.
Eastern wanted a goaltend. Sawyer Myers, tremendous help side defense to reject the shot. Landon Russell can't knock down the first one.
Now 17 seconds. Eastern will easily get 2 more possessions if they go quick, but they can't waste any time. Got to get it out and go.
Second shot, Russell knocks it down. Dotson racing, 15 seconds to play. Dotson over to Florence. Florence, contested three, airmails it. Long rebound, Corbin Florence. Pinkerton trying to throw it off of Myers, and Myers takes it away with 1.4 left, and that'll all but do it for Waverly.
Yeah, what an outstanding defensive effort from Waverly down the stretch. Even when they haven't been able to convert at the free throw line, the effort on the defensive end has been able to stay there. We had the big-time block that time, making the three. Obviously, Eastern had to have a 3 because in a 6-point game, they were going to have 2 threes. They weren't going to have time for a third possession, and Waverly just an outstanding job to get out of here with the win tonight.
Sawyer Myers at the line to put the icing on the cake. He knocks down the first. You look at the record, maybe hasn't been pretty for Waverly, but they've won a lot of games that are going to go a long way for them to compete in the postseason. One final heave from Florence as the final buzzer sounds from the downtown gym, and that's your ball game. The Waverly Tigers come out on top of Eastern Brown, 57-50 your final score. A signature win for the Tigers as they improve to 11-8 on the season. We'll step aside here for a moment and come back to Waverly to discuss our final thoughts on this one. Once again, Waverly outlasts Eastern Brown 57-50 from the downtown gym. You're watching Ohio High School basketball here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
I'm Tyler.
And I'm James.
We want to thank you for continuing to make the Root Sports and Fitness Center your headquarters for youth sports in Southern Ohio.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
You look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
At Chillicothe Comfort Heating and Air, your comfort is our priority year-round.
Whether it's blazing hot or freezing cold, we've got your back with fast, reliable service you can trust.
Locally owned, honest, and done right the first time.
We have financing options available for every budget, as well as 60 months, 0% interest.
Call us today and feel the difference that comfort makes.
Back here at the Waverly Downtown Gym, once again, your final score, the Tigers defend home court and knock off Eastern Brown 57-50. The Tigers improve to 11-8, Eastern Brown falling to 16-3 overall on the season. Carson Francis and Shane Combs back with you from the Waverly Downtown Gym. Shane, Waverly got off to a hot start in the first quarter. Eastern Brown showed some resistance, fought back, but Waverly stayed the course, stayed on top, and picked up a much-needed win here on their home floor, their second win in as many nights.
Yeah, and it's their 11th overall, and obviously in high school basketball with the 22-game season now, they're 1 win away from guaranteeing the winning season, just a year after only winning 9 a year ago. So congratulations to Waverly. I thought 2 things jumped out at me. One was the way they played in the first half. I thought they were the aggressor right from the jump ball. And then the second thing for Waverly, Carson, is when Eastern made the run that you knew a program like Eastern was going to make in the third quarter. I thought Waverly absorbed it, made the adjustments in the fourth quarter, and were able to get out of here with a win. A big reason why they scored 25 points, I believe it is, unofficially. I'll have to count those up again from the free throw line. So 25 of 34, I think, led by KJ Alexander. He got there 14 times, made 11 of them. He had 21 on the night. And they were just really, really good at staying aggressive and getting there. I mean, listen to some of these numbers here, because he was 7 points. He was 3 of 4 from the line. McBride had 12. He was 2 for 2 from the free throw line. I mentioned a second ago, Alexander had 21, 11 of 14. Landon Russell with 9. He was 5 of 6. Sawyer Myers had 3. He was 1 of 2. And then Gunnar Myers, 3 of 6, had 5. So just about every Tiger that played not only scored but also got to the free throw line. That tells you they're sharing the basketball, and that tells you they're aggressive to the hole.
And for Waverly, I talked about coming in, both of these teams were looking for an impressive statement win before the tournament, and this is just that for Waverly, especially with their remaining 3 regular season games at West, at Valley, and then back here against Minford, who played them pretty tight last night. This is a good momentum for them to go into those final 3 regular season games and into the postseason.
Oh, there's no question. Again, that's why you schedule these types of games on both sides this late in the year, is you're wanting to really challenge yourself. You want a tournament-type atmosphere. You want a tournament-type opponent, and that's what you get for certain. If you're Waverly, you're going to take a lot from this in terms of the momentum. If you're Eastern, I think you're going to take a look at the first half and understand on the road, which is basically what you are if you're going to make the deep tournament run into the neutral site, is you got to get off to a better start. And I thought what happens is when you play these quality opponents and you start digging yourself the double-digit hole, that's hard to come all the way back from.
And for Eastern Brown too, not an easy end of the regular season, especially when you look at their upcoming game, a rivalry game on Saturday against North Adams before they close out the regular season with a back-to-back on the road next week at Batavia and at Ripley.
Yeah, no question. Going to be a busy finish for a lot of teams because of the weather that we had over the 2-week stretch. A lot more basketball than maybe the regular schedule was going to have. And as you mentioned, still some really, really quality opponents. When you think of the likes of a North Adams on the one side, you see a Portsmouth West Valley, Memphis, a couple, that's still a gauntlet of SOC opponents there. And so those are always tight games.
Well, looking ahead to our coverage here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority presented by Ohio Health. Shane, you and John, tomorrow night we'll have our Kingston National Bank SVC Game of the Week tomorrow in Frankfort as Adena hosts Huntington in a girls SVC showdown. And then Friday night we'll be down on the river at the Trojan Arena in Portsmouth as the Trojans host Chesapeake in an OVC battle. Also might be picking up a game Saturday night as well. That is yet to be determined, but we will let you know if we do end up finding another game for this week on our socials. But for sure, tomorrow night, Huntington at Adena girls, and then Chesapeake at Portsmouth Friday in boys OVC action.
And also for our Eastern listeners still with us here tonight, I do want to let you know on your scoring, Chase Pinkerton was terrific. He had 21 tonight. The post player, Matthew Dick, had 12. Then 7 for Jaden Florence, 1 for Kane Dotson, 3 for Carter Cluxton. And then the freshman Corbin Florence came off the bench there and hit the 2 triples late for 6. Also, Shack listeners, I believe Uniota survived a tight game at Fairfield tonight, 50-46. So, we talked about the late season non-conference games that it can impact seeding in a couple different ways there. And then I know you told me that had an outstanding game going on where Miami Trace got off to the quick start against Chillicothe.
It was 25-15, Miami Trace ahead of the Cavaliers at halftime. You can check out our Brock Netter on Twitter for updates on that one. A great game up in Fayette County. Miami Trace looking to cap off an FAC title with a win tonight.
Yeah, they're just outstanding. They got the wake-up call there in the middle of the year. Really good courthouse team. And then, man, have they answered in a big way. They've really been playing with some great tempo, scoring the basketball and defending at a high level. I don't know that anyone will be thrilled to have Miami Trace in their bracket come tournament time.
Not at all, and we'll find out on Sunday where each of our coverage area teams will make their trip on the road to Dayton. I'm sure you and John will have a lot to say on Overtime presented by Perfection One coming this weekend. But as for tonight, one final time from the Waverly Downtown Gym, the Tigers defend home court against Eastern Brown. Take down the Warriors by a final score of 57-50. From Kenneth Hay, our cameraman, and Shane Combs, I am Carson Francis. We thank you for tuning in to tonight's presentation of Ohio High School basketball here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.